Hi, I hope you're having a great day. It is Tuesday, so that means it's Tag Tuesday and time for another tag. So today we're going to do hurricanes, tornadoes, and blizzards. Oh my. So never good things in real life, but different in books. So the first, there's a few prompts here, about eight of them. So the first one is, how do you think an extreme weather event, such as a hurricane, tornado, or blizzard, impacts the plot of a book? So generally, I think it enhances it. It adds an element of excitement that wasn't there, and fear. It can also bring people together where they cling to each other, or on the other side, it can be a backdrop for an argument or something intense, like running from a murderer, those sort of things. So I really think it can enhance the book. And then the second question is, name a book you enjoyed where some type of natural disaster or storm played a role in the story. So there's been a few. Recently, my Gypsy War Diary had a severe thunder rainstorm in it that the two main characters were trying to walk through and having a hard time. Um, Wyoming Wilderness Survival that I read. It had, again, a severe thunder lightning storm where the main characters were running from the bad guys and uh, and they had to get to safety and get to someplace warm and dry. So there's been lots of books that have that element to it, and I really kind of enjoy that. Have you ever experienced a weather event that had a lasting impact on you or was a memorable time in your life? Yes. In, I think it was 2005, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember the exact year, maybe 2006. But it was Hurricane Juan came through here, landed as around between a two and a three, depending on what area and who you asked. Um, Not the most severe, but certainly the most severe that most of us had ever seen. Took out the power for, well, I was in the kind of in the country, so we were without power for about a week. Had to, uh, had to we were on a well, so we had to get water to, from a stream to flush the toilets and for drinking water. Um, no debit machines anywhere. No, you know, all the food had to be cooked up on the barbecue. It was a lot and very scary the night of. I had small children at the time and a, a very large dog who was a very big sook and was terrified of storms even before then. So after that, he was even worse. So yeah, I will certainly never forget it. And then that same year, winter came and we had what was dubbed White Juan, which was a very severe snowstorm, even for Canada, where it just went on and on and on, and the banks were so high you couldn't even see over them, and there was no place to even put the snow, and so much wind that there was no visibility. So that was quite an event as well. And yeah, so not nearly as fun in real life. And then, what is your favorite type of book to curl up with while a storm is raging outside? Thriller, romance, or memoir? Definitely a thriller. I think that's, to me, when a storm is raging outside, that's the kind of book I want. That sort of suspenseful, not quite scary, but, a little bit scary book. And I think it really lends to that atmosphere. Name a book character you've enjoyed who had to overcome or endure a weather-related hardship. So I read a book called The Snowman Killer, and the main character was a homicide detective named Sarah. And Sarah had decided to quit being a homicide detective, had moved to this small town to be a writer. And anyway, there was a killer that was searching for her, and she ended up out in the storm trying to get to safety and chase him down and all of these things. And that was she was a really good character and a very strong sort of character. If you were told to evacuate your home, what three books would go in your to-go bag? Let me see. I don't think, first of all, I'd be worrying about books if I was told to evacuate. I think, my husband, my cat, some cash, some clothes, important documents. Again, I don't think I would worry about books at all. But if I was, we'll play pretend. If I was, it would be a devotional of my grandmother's, my Kindle, because that has all my books on it. What do you need when you've got, a Kindle or a Kobo? And and if I had a physical copy, then probably the latest Louise Penny. So the seventh one said, if you were writing a novel and had to use one of the following, a hurricane, a blizzard, a tornado, or a wildfire in the story, which do you choose and why? I think with me, I would probably choose a blizzard because I have more experience with a blizzard than I would any other kind of weather disaster. I've never, yeah, thankfully, never been part of a tornado or, although there's been wildfires close, I've never had to evacuate because of one. So I feel like definitely it would be a blizzard. And the eighth one, is there a book on your current TBR that features some type of inclement weather or natural disaster? So I am currently reading a book where they haven't had a hurricane yet, but I have a funny feeling it's coming. Let me see if I can find it because I don't have it right here in front of me. Give me 1 second to pull up my Kindle here. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Maybe I don't even have it on here because I'm reading a physical copy. But it's one of the Louisiana vintage cookbook mysteries. And it's the second in that series, and it is every day there seems to be a hurricane warning, but so far the hurricane hasn't come. So I have a feeling there may end up being something weather related in that book. So that's the end of it. There does say to tag some friends. I have a feeling most everyone's done this one at this point. So if you haven't been tagged and you want to do it, feel free. And hopefully the weather where you're at, whatever it is, hopefully it's not anything extreme. I know we're still getting heat waves in different parts of Canada. I know in the US it's been very hot as well. I haven't, I don't know what it is in other parts of the world, but hopefully everyone stays safe and cool or warm, depending on what you need. And I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.